Good morning, students. So, this is Anandamath by Bankim-Chandra Chattopadhyay. This is also part of your syllabus. Now, because of COVID, you are missing the classes. Now, you are just submitting the assignments. Nothing can be done about it. But what is very sad about this condition is that you are missing the class lectures, you are missing the knowledge and information. Okay, so what I am requesting you is you should attend all these online classes, all these flipped classes which I keep on posting, so that your journey of this 1 year or 2 year does not remain empty or hollow. You are submitting assignment, you are passing, okay, fine. এটা তো আমরা ইচ্ছা করে করি নাই, because of COVID it's taking place, but then you should not forget that you should not let this period, let this year, এই যে 1 বছর 1.5 বছর ধরে যেটা কন্ডিশন আছে, you should not let this period go hollow or waste. So please attend these classes, please go through these classes so that you have some অল্প হলেও একটু না একটু নলেজ গ্যাদার করো, নাইলে তো অ্যাবসলিউটলি ইটস বিকামিং ফ্রুটলেস। এই 1-1.5 বছর 2 বছর তো ফ্রুটলেস হয়ে যাচ্ছে। এই সময়টা তো আর ঘুরে আসবে না, ইট উইল নট কাম ব্যাক টু ইউ। আবার তো গ্র্যাজুয়েশন অ্যাডমিশন নেবে না। তো Bankim-Chandra Chattopadhyay is the writer of this novel. It is translated work. We are doing world literatures. আমরা লিও টলস্টয়কে পড়েছি, আমরা মোপাসোকে পড়েছি. We have been doing the short stories. I have just finished some classes. So this is also translated work, and this is considered to be one of the foremost important piece of literature in Indian, not only in Bengali literature, যেটা originally বাংলাতে লেখা হয়েছিল, but also in Indian literature. And the song Vande Mataram has been taken from this novel, Anandamath. 1838 to 94, this is the time period when Bankim Chandra lived. He is called the Sahitya Samrat, and he is called the Walter Scott of India. Who is Walter Scott? Walter Scott wrote historical romances in British literature. Now, if you are a student of AltE, as students of AltE, it is a must for you to have a copy of W.J. Long's History of English Literature. আর যদি কিনতে না চাও, আমাদের লাইব্রেরিতে আছে, শিলচরের বুক স্টলসে আছে এই বইটা, হিস্ট্রি অফ ইংলিশ লিটারেচার by W.J. Long, William J. Long. It is considered the most basic book for students of English literature. শুধু AltE নয়, জেনারেল ইংলিশের ছাত্রদেরকেও এটা পড়া উচিত। There you will find Walter Scott. So he was a 19th century English writer, Scottish English writer, who wrote about the historical romances of British and Scottish literature. So he is compared to Walter Scott, and he is called the Walter Scott of India. So this novel, Anandamath, was a late 18th century novel. And the background was the famine. At that time, the famine of 1770 was going through. What is a famine? When shortage of food takes place in the country. When shortage of food takes place in the country. It was translated in 1906. আর যখন এটা ট্রান্সলেট হয়, এটার নাম থাকে the Abbey of Bliss. What is an abbey? You must be knowing a monastery. And Sannyasi rebellion of 1770 to 1820 is considered the background. So history, you can see how historical aspect plays role. So Walter Scott এর সাথে এটা তোমরা দেখতে কম্পেয়ার করতে পারবে। এখানে সন্ন্যাসী রেবেলিয়ন আর ফ্যামাইন ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডস থাকে, তো কিভাবে এইগুলা ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডে থাকে in this novel. And abbey, monasteries are there, sannyasi is there. I'm sure you know who is a sannyasi. It is considered the first novel in English. It is about the Bengal Renaissance, or Bengal's duty to revert India. Okay, Bengali literature played very important role in triggering people, in triggering the citizens of the country to rise against the British. Okay, other literatures also played important, but Bengali literature matured faster. Bengali literature matured very faster during the British times, and it inspired the people. It used to inspire the people to raise their voice, or to raise their voice against the Britishers, to oust the Britishers from the country. Okay, এই বইটা কিন্তু ব্যান করা হয়েছিল. The Britishers had banned this book. Okay, the ban was later on lifted. It was banned, this book. It was first published in serial form in Bongodarshan. These are very important questions থাকতে পারে, আসতে পারে. বঙ্গদর্শন বলে একটা ম্যাগাজিন ছিল. This magazine was also by বঙ্কিম চন্দ্র. ওকে, ওই ম্যাগাজিন এটা সিরিয়াল ফর্মে কাহানি, সিরিয়ালে যেরকম আমরা একটার পর একটা এপিসোড আসে ওই রকম ওখানে ওটা পাবলিশ হতে থাকে. আর এই বঙ্গদর্শনে even Rabindranath Tagore is to publish. Rabindranath Tagore is to publish some one of his novels, চোখের বালি, ওখানে প্রথম পাবলিশ হয় in serial form. And this novel is in 4 parts. Who are the central characters? Mahindra, Kalyani, Sukumari. Mahindra and Kalyani, they are husband and wife. Sukumari is their little daughter. Satyanand is the ascetic or the monk or the rishi or the sannyasi. Okay, Jivananda was another monk. Shanti was Jivananda's wife. Then there is another monk, Bhavananda. So these are the main characters in this novel. And another thing you can note here, Bankim Chandra, he was a Brahmin, and he was born in quite an orthodox family. His father was in the government service, and he was also in government service. He was also the deputy magistrate or the deputy collector. ঠিক আছে, অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশনে উনি ডেপুটি কালেক্টর ছিলেন. And there were some incidents that led to his conflict with the colonizers. What made him to write this novel? He had gone through some personal incidents, personal interactions, যেগুলো খুব ওনার খারাপ লাগতো ব্রিটিশার্স. এখন উনি অ্যাডমিনিস্ট্রেশনে ছিলেন, ডেপুটি কালেক্টর ছিলেন, সো ডেফিনেটলি হি ওয়াজ ইন টাচ উইথ দ্য ব্রিটিশার্স. হোয়াইট কলোনাইজার্সদের সাথে উঠা বসা ছিল. সো হি ইউজ টু এক্সপিরিয়েন্স হি ডিসলাইক সাম attitudes of these colonizers. It is superiority complex data. So whereas it is our own country, and these were white colonizers from outside. So this personal incidents led to his writing of this particular novel, Anandamath. Okay, and he was one of the early graduates of Calcutta University. Calcutta University থেকে উনি গ্র্যাজুয়েশন করেছিলেন. Some of the themes of this novel are devotion, celibacy. Why celibacy? Celibacy is not marrying, বিয়ে না করা, বিয়ে না করে to serve the country. Without marrying, you devote your whole life in the service of the country. So we find that how Satyananda, the sannyasi, despite being sannyasi, how they had rebelled with his monks, অন্য সন্ন্যাসীদেরকে নিয়ে কিভাবে how they had defeated the Britishers. Okay, this was defeated the Britishers with the help of the monks. With his monks, Satyanand was you can say the leader monk, the leader sannyasi. Jivanand was his another monk of his mutt. Okay, and Mahindra, he was a zamindar. Mahindra was a zamindar, and then due to famine, how Mahindra was famine এসে গেছিল, আমাদের এখানে লোকাল ভাষায় আমরা যে বলি খরা, shortage of food, maybe because of there may be many reasons behind that, weather condition, if there are no rains for too long period, there may be shortage of food. So Mahindra and Kalyani and their little daughter wanted to migrate to the city. তো এই মাইগ্রেশনের সময় দে গেট ডিসপার্স ফ্রম ইচ আদার. কল্যাণী আর সুকুমারী মহেন্দ্রের কাছ থেকে আলাদা হয়ে যায় যখন ওরা গ্রাম থেকে শহরে যখন ট্রাভেল করছিল, সো দ্যাট টু এসকেপ দ্য ফেমাইন. মেবি ইন সিটি there are better conditions despite having a zamindar background. তো এই ডিসপার্শনের সময় দে কাম অ্যাক্রস কল্যাণী অ্যান্ড কল্যাণী কামস অ্যাক্রস সত্যানন্দ. কল্যাণীকে কীভাবে ইন দ্য ফরেস্ট হাউ শি গেটস অ্যাটাকড বাই দ্য ডেকয়েটস. ডাকাতরা কিভাবে ওকে অ্যাটাক করে, and then how she becomes unconscious when Satyanand finds her. He finds her near a river bank, near the river, নদীর কাছে বেহুশ অবস্থাতে অজ্ঞান অবস্থাতে ওকে পায়। Okay, before he could help Kalyani, how Satyanand the rishi, the sannyasi, got arrested. You please go through the story. And he got arrested. Then how he employs another monk to help গান গেয়ে গিয়ে কীভাবে আরেকজন মঙ্ককে বলেন যে কীভাবে একটা মেয়ে ওখানে ফেসে আছে জলের কিনারে। And this Satyanand, he was the founder of this Anandamath যেটা মনেস্ট্রি ছিল যেখানে সন্ন্যাসীরা থাকতো, সেই আনন্দমঠের উনি সেটা ফাউন্ড করেছিলেন, উনি সেটা গঠন করেছিলেন। ওকে, অলসো হোয়াট বঙ্কিমচন্দ্র ওয়াজ ট্রাইং টু শো, he's deliberately brought this story about the sannyasis. He wanted to keep the country informed about how sannyasis also could play important role towards the freedom struggle কিভাবে common man, আমরা তারপর স্টোরিতে পাই যে মহেন্দ্র also wanted to join the freedom struggle. He also wanted to join the Anandamath. Then Satyanand says that for this you have to give up family করে সংসার করে দেশকে সার্ভ করা যায় না। So then we see that Kalyani, she wanted to commit suicide so that she frees her husband from the duty of wife and daughter. আর বাচ্চাটাও ঢং করে করে সেই পয়জনটা খেয়ে নেয়, আর কল্যাণীও খেয়ে নেয়, to free themselves, to free Mahendra from duties towards them. Okay, but however they get saved later on, they get reunited also. So how common man and how sannyasi, how everybody could play a role towards the independence or towards the freedom struggle of the country. This is what Bankim Chandra is trying to do, show, inspire. Okay, and also now the British Army is also shown with the Muslim rulers of Bengal at that time. So what is Bankim Chandra perhaps trying to show, that these are foreigners, where the Muslim rulers who had come or the Britishers had come from outside. The Muslim rulers also had come from outside, and they are outsiders and they need to be ousted. They are not part of, this is what he's trying to show. How and they have been defeated by Satyanand's monks. Okay, despite the Britishers have better artillery, despite the Britishers having better artillery, better ammunitions, arms and ammunitions, the monks win. ঠিক আছে, এই যে সাধুরা জিতে against this Britishers who had a combined army with the Muslim rulers of Bengal at that time. So this is what he is trying to show, and this is how and that is how this book had left tremendous influence upon the Indians to fight against the Britishers, to start the struggle against the Britishers. And Rabindranath Tagore himself had personally praised this work. And some of the important points that have to be thought over by as a student, যখন আমরা লিখতে যাব, অ্যাটেম্প্ট করতে যাব, পড়তে যাব, সাম দ্য পয়েন্টস, এটা তো স্টোরি ঠিক আছে, কীভাবে মিলে যেতে কমন ম্যান, সন্ন্যাসি, এভরিবডি রেবেল্ড এগেনস্ট দিস ফরেনার্স, অ্যান্ড আলটিমেটলি ঠিক আমরা 1947 কীভাবে ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টও হয়েছিলাম, ওকে ফাইন. But as a student approaching towards this chapter, writing, while you write the answers, or whenever you think about this novel, some of apart from the themes, what the student has to remember, what we have to remember is the tensions that have been created in the novel, which are very important to approach this piece of novel. For example, there is a tension between the Hindus and the Muslims. the Hindus and the Christian Britishers. ঠিক আছে, যেটা টেনশন ক্রিয়েট করা আছে যখন আমরা এই বইটা পড়বো বা পড়ি তখন আমরা দেখি দ্যাট হাউ বঙ্কিমচন্দ্র ইজ ট্রাইং টু শো দ্য ডিফারেন্সেস দ্যাট হ্যাজ বিন প্রেজেন্ট between these communities, and we frankly speaking we still find that how these tensions are still there, some kind of there are some points of intersection, and there are some points where we do not agree with each other maybe. তো এইসব এই নোভেলে আমরা পাই. সো দিস ইজ ইউ ক্যান সে এ নোভেল উইচ ডেসপাইট এটা অনেক আগে লেখা হয়েছে, 100-150 বছর আগে লেখা হয়েছে, বাট উই ফাইন্ড দ্যাট হাউ the topics, some of the topics are really relevant even today. The ruler and the ruled are the point of tension, the ruler and the ruled. How should a ruler be? Colonizers the foreign the Muslims rulers who had come from outside, they were the rulers and the Hindus were the ruled, but there was a huge relation gap. There was a huge gap between this ruler and the ruled, the colonized and the colonizers. The relation was not healthy. Okay, dominated and dominators, dominated, the dominated and the dominators. So we still find even in our governance যেগুলো আগে টেনশন ছিল, আমরা এখনও বর্তমান সরকারে we disagree with the government on many points. অনেক পয়েন্টসে আমরা এখনও disagree করি. We may not like certain policies of the government even today. Any government comes, কিছুটা ভালো লাগবে, কিছুটাতে আমাদের definitely certain sections of the citizens of the country will disagree. So সেটা আগেও ছিল, এখনও আছে. Whether it foreign rulers, whether আমাদের দেশের নিজের rulers, এখন তো আর আফগান rulers নেই, এখন তো আর ব্রিটিশ rulers নেই, এখন তো আমাদের মধ্য থেকে নেতা যারা আছে we have selected, we have voted them into power, right? But still we may disagree. So you as a student, when you attempt the answers, it should be in your mind that how these points of tensions have been created, the rulers and the ruled, the tensions between different communities. এটা সব জায়গাতে থাকবে, in any country, not just in our country. In any country there will be some kind of problems will be there in between 2 communities, 3 communities. So it is something very natural also. আমাদের নিজের এটা তো সমাজের কথা, দেশের কথা. if you look at within our own families, নিজের ফ্যামিলিতে দেখবে কিছু এক দুজনের সাথে খুব আমাদের বনবে, আর একজনের সাথে একটু গ্যাপ থাকবে রিলেশনশিপে. there will be some points of conflict with our own family members also. So this problem is very natural in human beings, in mankind, in any country, in any society. জরুরি না যে শুধু অন্য কমিউনিটির সাথে আমাদের ডিসএগ্রিমেন্ট হতে পারে. আমাদের নিজের ঘরের লোকেরা তো আর অন্য কমিউনিটির নয়, একই কমিউনিটি, একই ধর্ম, একই ভাষা, বাট ডেসপাইট দিস উই মে হ্যাভ ডিফারেন্সেস উইথ দ্যাম. So these points of tensions are created. Then the village and the town, the village and the town এর যেটা কনফ্লিক্ট আগেও ছিল, এখনও আছে. How Mahendra, when he tries to leave the village for the city for better life, because of the famine and all, so then how the family gets dispersed, family আলাদা হয়ে যায়, বউ বাচ্চা থেকেও আলাদা হয়ে যায়, বউয়ের কাছ থেকেও আলাদা হয়ে যায়, বউ বাচ্চা হেরে যায়. So you can say that how city life is you can say plays a role in the disintegration of the family. ওকে, গ্রামে গঞ্জে এখনও দেখা যায় ফ্যামিলিরা কীভাবে একসাথে থাকে. ইট ইজ আ ফ্যাক্ট. I am also a villager. Most of you are villagers. আমাদের এখানে still now it is quite rural, despite it has been declared a town, but still to become a proper town it may take a few more years. But we know the experiences. When you must be having relatives in the city, in the town, so you will find that there is a huge difference, some kind of differences there between city life and village life. গ্রামে গঞ্জে লোকেরা they still live in compact familiesরা এখনও একসাথে থাকে. আলাদা হচ্ছে আস্তে আস্তে, because some kind of effects are still are taking place, but still the family is still in integrated form in the villages rather than in cities. শহরে আমরা পাই the families are more nuclear, একদম ছোট ছোট ফ্যামিলি. আজকে মা বাবা থেকে আলাদা হয়ে বউ বাচ্চাকে নিয়ে আলাদা, বা the family is dispersed. So here also we find that when Mahendra tries to move to the city, how he gets separated from the family. And then there is a tension of celibacy versus the family. Celibacy versus the family. Now maybe Bankim Chandra is trying to show that to serve the country we should give up family. Okay, so it is up to the person. I will personally say up to the person, individual উপর depend করে what you want to select, whether to serve the society, to serve the nation, to serve the communities, you want to give up families or not. So or maybe Bankim Chandra is trying to justify the lives of the sannyasis, because the sannyasis had সন্ন্যাসীরা তো বিয়ে করে না, they don't marry, they don't have family, wife and children, and how we also see that how Mahendra wants to join the revolution against the Britishers, but family becomes an obstruction. But it is I personally feel to serve mankind you don't have to give up family, you can still serve the society with while having family also. It is not necessary, but it depends from person to person. And also arekta jinish Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, maybe he's trying to show that the people had very little knowledge about the lives of sannyasis or how sannyasis lived, or সন্ন্যাসী সম্বন্ধে মানুষের খুব কম নলেজ আছে বা থাকে. So through this novel he is trying to give an insight into the lives and the mottos and motives of a sannyasi could be also. So he's taking the help of the past of Bengal to create a new interpretation of India, of a new India. Okay, and how to uproot these foreign rulers, the foreigners who had come to rule India. At present also we find that how we are fighting different foreign ideas. অনেক সময় advertisement যেগুলো আসে আমরা দেখি যে কিভাবে how the Indian culture is অ্যাডে দেখানো হয় যে we should celebrate Indian cultures rather than celebrate the Western cultures. So this is also one kind of fight. এখনো এক ধরনের fight, psychological fight is going on. সাইকোলজিক্যাল আগে ফিজিক্যাল ফাইট ছিল কলোনাইজার্সদের সাথে বা ওয়েস্টার্ন কালচার, ওয়েস্টার্ন ডমিনেশনের সাথে. এখন হলো গিয়ে সাইকোলজিক্যাল ফাইট. দ্য স্ট্রাগল ইজ rather a psychological fight. Still now we will find in families how some parents, they don't want to give Western outfits to children. You wear your own clothing. So the country is divided. There will always be some kind of points of agreeing and the points of disagreeing. এটা আগেও ছিল. আগে it was a real struggle of the independence against the Britishers and other rulers from outside. আজকেও এক ধরনের ফাইট চলে against the if we disagree with the government or about the different cultures, food culture. আজকালকে অনেক ওয়েস্টার্ন ফুডস আমরা খাই. কেক হ্যাজ বিকাম এ পার্ট অফ আওয়ার, এটা তো আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান কালচার নয় বা ইস্টার্ন কালচার নয়, ইট ইজ ফ্রম দ্য ওয়েস্ট. বাট আজকালকে দেখবে উইদাউট কেক হ্যাজ বিকাম সো মাচ মাস্ট ইন ম্যারেজেস. ছোট্ট একটা পার্টি হলে, ছোট্ট একটা ফাংশন হলেও কেক তো থাকবেই. So this kind of psychological fights are going on. But another thing I want to tell you that today we say it is a global village. We get affected by each other. We cannot পুরোভাবে একদম pure society-তে থাকা perhaps is no more possible. We get affected by each other. We also inspire others also inspire us. Okay, so it is up to the individual what individual selects. এটা তোমার ইচ্ছা, তুমি কি সিলেক্ট করতে চাও, বাট ডেফিনেটলি উইল সিলেক্ট ফর সামথিং উইচ ইজ বেটার অ্যান্ড পজিটিভ. আদার কালচার্স থেকে আমরা যেগুলো উইচ উইল বি বেনিফিট আস সেগুলো আমরা নিশ্চয়ই দেখব. Also, you can say another point in this novel is the role of the women. Okay, the role of the women, how women also want to join. For example, Shanti, who is Jivananda's wife. তো ওর হাজব্যান্ড তো আনন্দমঠ জয়েন করে ফেলেছে, সত্যানন্দের আনন্দমঠ যেটা এবি যেটা monastery, but she cannot live without her husband. So how she dresses up as a man and then she enters how she impresses Satyanand with her archery and gets admitted in that rebellion. So that also you can see how the women also played some kind of role in the freedom struggle. Then we find Bhavananda, he starts liking Kalyani, but then Kalyani is somebody else's wife, Mahendra's wife. Then and he is also a monk. Bhavananda is a monk, he's a sannyasi. He cannot have the desire for a family, wife and children. So he then restrains himself. So we find that how as human beings we have to restrain ourselves from certain acts which will be harmful for ourselves, for the society, for certain institutions. Okay, so these are some of the conflicts you should go understand when you are reading this novel, when you are attempting the answer, when you are trying to understand this novel. This is a very important novel because it played a very important role in the freedom struggle, in inspiring the people of Bengal and the country. And you can see its importance, how the Britishers had ban করা হয়েছিল এটা। তো আমরা দেখি যে এই ব্যান করাতেই আমরা বুঝতে পারি that the Britishers were definitely, they had a hunch that this book might prove harmful for them. And আমরা এটা একটা পয়েন্ট মনে রাখবে that how the sannyasis, they didn't had artillery like the Britishers had. They had no military training. They had no military training. এখন ব্রিটিশ সোলজার্সদের মতো এদের প্রপার ট্রেনিং ছিল না, বাট ডেসপাইট দ্যাট, because of their willpower and devotion and desire to win, to oust the Britishers, they won. এই যে ছোটোখাটো যেটা রেবেলিয়ন যেটা দেখানো হয়েছে in the novel, কীভাবে ওরা জিতে যায় despite having no military training, despite having no proper artillery. There are some more important points. When you go through the novel, you will find how Shanti finds Jivananda's body, her husband's body, in dying state. এই যেটা ছোটোখাটো একটা যেটা লড়াই হয়েছিল ব্রিটিশার্সদের সাথে, এটাতে জীবানন্দ কীভাবে জখম হয়ে যায়. So how he was about to die, Shanti finds her husband in dying state, and then how it is shown that Satyananda, he uses some kind of ancient জড়িবুটি যেগুলা প্রাচীনকাল থেকে the Indians have been using to as for medical purposes, কিভাবে ওইসব দিয়ে জীবানন্দকে বাঁচানো হয়. So বঙ্কিমচন্দ্র also tries to bring that aspect. আজকালকে আমরা যেটা পাই, যেটা আয়ুর্বেদ আর এইসবের the branch of studies, the branch of medical studies, a part of life and curing life for health benefits. তো এই পয়েন্টটাও এখানে বঙ্কিমচন্দ্র he tries to bring, and how Jivananda gets saved with the help of this ancient cure practice. Ultimately আমরা দেখি যে how Mahendra and Kalyani, they reunite and they build their own house. Okay, and despite living a married life, আবার ওরা একসাথে reunite হয়ে যায়, but Mahendra, he continues to support the rebellion. So I think this much is enough for these points are এগুলো points যথেষ্ট enough. You will have to expand the points while you are writing the answers. ঠিক আছে, go through this class again and again. I hope you have benefited from this class, and please go through all the classes. Do not let your time period, this valuable phase of your time, period of your time, of your life, এই যে 2-3 বছর 1.5 বছর, এটাকে ওয়েস্ট যেতে দিও না. Try to gather knowledge. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.